Is this thing on? Am I being recorded? Are we actually live here? Looks like everything is good to go here. Hello there, internet world, or whatever the case may be, and welcome to the actual Q&A video that I meant to be recorded a long time ago, but I haven't had the chance to do so. But I'm finally here to do it. So apologies for the very long wait. Yeah, since the announcement video went up 3 months ago. Yeah, that's how long it's been. But it's finally happening. So yeah, I just want to get this out of the way. While it's still very bright outside and there's very good lighting, and the quality will come out okay. Um, yeah, I think these are kind of like the best settings I could do with like the webcam and everything. And yes, this is what I actually look like. So let it be known that this is what I look like, and this is the face review that I promised when I was doing the announcement video. Yes, so here I am, and now everyone knows what I look like. And so basically, a bit about myself before I get into the actual Q&A itself. So you might know me better as kaywhyn on the Lemmings forums and also YouTube, because that is my channel name. Yeah, kaywhyn. That's how you spell it. So if you're interested in my channel and want to look me up, that's how you can do so. And if you like what you are seeing, then feel free to hit the subscribe button, and so that you get notifications of when my future videos go up. So in particular, I like to dub myself the um, main Lemmings LPer, just because right now I seem to be the only main person LPing level packs, on the Lemmings community, and I've done so many of them in the past year and a half. So well, yeah, I guess like year and a half, because I pretty much started. Let me see, near the end of 2020, so around October/November. Yeah, and right now it's April 2022. So yeah, it's pretty much been about a good year and a half now, and I still have plans to keep on going as long as I am able to. So pretty much as long as my schedule allows me to, and I am still enjoying myself doing so, and that my viewers are still enjoying very much watching me solve levels on camera and everything. And so far that has been the case. So therefore, I don't have any plans to stop LPing level packs anytime soon. So rest assured, you'll still get that coming from me. But yeah, I pretty much seem to be like the main guy around here, or at least in that part of the community, just LPing other people's level packs and everything. So especially since like I like to consider myself more of a um, Lemmings player rather than a Lowe's designer. Although I've gotten into level design myself just because of some encouragement from some people, just to give it a try and everything. And I think I'm enjoying it somewhat. And who knows? Maybe a future level pack for me is in the works. I haven't exactly started anything towards that, but again, I might do something like that in the future. I'm heavily considering it. Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure if I'll top off any of the quality of the level packs that I played, but um, I think it will at least be worth a try and everything. Um, so yes, and another thing is that I hail from the USA, in particular. I like to say sunny California. That's the U.S. state that I'm in. So I'm in the West Coast, and right now it is about 12:34 p.m. And basically, the way that this Q&A video will work is that I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to limit it to the duration to about half an hour, and pretty much any questions that I don't get to within that time frame, I will carry on over to the next Q&A video. So the goal is essentially to try to get through as many of the questions as I can. Um, there, there's a chance that I might not be able to get to all the questions, but considering that I only got, I think it was questions from 4 users on the Lemmings community. So there is a possibility that I might be able to get through the entire thing, but I'm not counting on it. So that's the case. Yeah, any questions that I don't get to in the half hour, I will simply carry on over to the next Q&A video. And I think I plan to do multiple Q&A videos as well. So rest assured that if I don't get to your question, then I will at some point in some future video. So don't worry, they will not go unanswered. And I would certainly be more than happy to answer any questions that you have dropped off for me in the meantime. Um, so so without further ado, I think that's all I wanted to say. Let's go ahead and get into the actual Q&A. So, first up, the first user here is from SQRon188. So, his first question, or rather, his questions, I should say. What video game soundtracks do you enjoy, and have you ever enjoyed a soundtrack enough to play a game you haven't played yet? Okay, well, let's just start with that question. So for that one, yes, there are plenty of video game soundtracks that I do enjoy. In particular, Maui Malo and Cold Shadow. Not sure if anyone has heard of that game around here, but that is essentially a video game that features Donald Duck, and his alter ego is Cold Shadow. So it's pretty much like a scrolling type of game where you just move around with him, fighting any enemies you encounter, and yeah, just defeating bosses at the end of each stage, and up until you get to the main and final boss. So lots of fun. Loved it as a kid. And the boss fight team is really really nice. So that is something that you can always look up on YouTube and stuff. It's a really really nice theme. Um, and then there are plenty of humongous entertainment games that I've enjoyed as well. You might know them, such games as like Putt Putt, Fatty Bear, and Spy Fox. Um, there are also some junior arcade games too. Papa and Pep's Balloon-O-Rama. That's definitely a lot of fun. It's very similar to I don't even remember what the title was called. It's like Brick Off or something like that. Yeah, but in any case, it's kind of like that game where you have a paddle at the bottom and you try to maneuver it so that the ball touches it and bounces off it, um, because you want to bounce it around so that it goes and breaks through all the bricks, yeah, at the top of the screen and everything. So uh, Papa and Pet's Balloon-O-Rama is very similar to that. And from that game, yeah, I especially love the Moon theme soundtrack. Yeah, because it reminds me very, very much of Daft Punk. Yeah, and for those of you not in the know, yeah, it's a duo. Like I guess they are considered like an electronic duo or something like that. Yeah, made some really well-known songs and everything. Like uh, uh oh, what's the title called? Harder, Better, Stronger, or something like that. Um, and yeah, there is actually a level in Sublems that actually plays um that soundtrack. Yeah, I already chose that for that level. I don't remember what the level is called. I think it's like Metropolis or something like that. Lemtropolis, yeah, something around there. I think it's in the second rank. So you can always find it there, and if not, then of course you can always YouTube it. So yeah, and there's definitely a couple of videos on the musics there. Um, and then for SQ188's next question, also, do you ever get inspired by music? Any music, not necessarily video game OSTs, to make Lemmings levels. So for that, I don't think I ever encountered any soundtrack for any games that I haven't played that I would like to play eventually. So pretty much the only way that I would discover like soundtracks is just by playing the games themselves. Yeah, I don't think it's very likely that I would listen to any soundtrack before I've had the chance to play the game itself. Yeah, that it's found in. And in regards to making Lemmings levels, in the same way that I have a very hard time naming my levels, I tend to struggle a lot with picking music for them too. With this being said, this is quite a good question. I don't think there has been any music that has inspired the Lemmings making drive in me. If my inputs are various level packs or any indication, I'm more of a level solver than a level designer, as I'd rather play the levels instead of create them. For many reasons, the most prominent being that I'm far better at solving than making levels, as I have never been an artist and I still am not. Thus, I don't think I can ever top anyone's level design in terms of artistic quality here, not in a million years. And then upwards eyes. and and the question and the next question for SQ188. And the question I tend to ask on these Q&A things, what's your favorite pizza topping? That's a very nice question. I think I've done some online research somewhere and saw that cheese isn't really a topping, but I do like cheese. However, if this doesn't count, then I guess pepperoni, because it seems to be like a very popular topping, and yeah, I do like it as well. So I guess essentially my top toppings, that sounds pretty interesting, are pepperoni and cheese. Okay, so thank you, SQ Ron SQRon188 for those questions. Those were pretty good ones. And now to the next user, Armani, yeah, who is a Lemmings foreigner from South Korea, I believe. Yeah, please correct me there if I'm wrong, Armani. So, Armani's first question: do you enjoy any video games outside Lemmings? Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, I play games like Tyrion 2000, Biomenace, Chex Quest, and Chex Quest heavily features like the UI from the Doom games. But I've not played the Doom games myself, so I've only known the mod, yeah, that's inspired from, which is Chex Quest. And other games I enjoy, the Incredible Machine series. Yes, I'm think a lot of the Lemmings forum members are familiar with it. Various learning company games like Treasure Cove, Treasure Mountain, Operation Neptune, yeah, and many others. I've also played a lot of Jumpstart adventure games. In particular, I am very familiar with fourth grade, fifth grade, and sixth grade. Yeah, because that was essentially when I first got those games. Yeah, at least my dad did. Fourth grade, that is, you probably know the Haunted Island incantation of it, or version of it. Um, I guess it was deemed so scary that it was essentially redubbed or remade. I think it's like Sapphire Falls or something like that, which I am not familiar with since that came long after I've been familiar with the Haunted Island version. Yeah, and then fifth and sixth grade, I believe those just remain the way they are, just because they are a lot less scarier and I guess like more kid friendly. Um, Also, I love Blizzard games. I am very familiar with StarCraft and Expansion Brood War. I've also played all the StarCraft 2 games. So, Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, and Legacy of the Void. But beyond that, like the co-op missions, no, I've not played those. So, like the Nova and those other co-op missions that are DLC downloadable content, yeah, I've not played those. Um, I've also played Diablo 2 and its expansion Lord of Destruction, as well as Warcraft 3 and its expansion The Frozen Throne. And before any of these Blizzard games, I played Age of Empires and its expansion The Rise of Rome. I've also played Age of Empires 2 and Age of Mythology. Uh, in regards to the campaign missions, I think I've only done all the missions for the original Age of Empires and the expansion. I have not played the campaign missions for the other Age of Empires games. Although I played a bit of it when I got the definitive edition. I think it was last year, either last year or the year before that. Um, but ever since playing it last year, I haven't really touched it since, and I'm not sure if I can be bothered to, just because I got very frustrated with the controls, especially with the very bad bug of units constantly getting stuck. So I've had many problems where the units would just run into each other, and then I tried to get them unstuck, but that takes too long, and as a result, that heavily like causes me battles that I would have won otherwise, because units can't my units can't get to the actual enemy units and get them killed before mine get killed, just because they are stuck on one another. Hey, that sounds like Band-Aid commercial. If you're familiar with that. Um, and also, I think when I did play through the campaign missions, I played it on the hardest level that is available. And yes, I struggled a lot, yeah, when I did that, because I am definitely not a very strong RTS player, so real time strategy player. So in particular, I don't really do like multiplayer or anything. Yeah, I'm pretty much content with sticking to single player. And so because of that, yeah, you can definitely almost certainly bet that you will beat me if I ever go into multiplayer. Um, and again, it's been a while since I've played them as well, so it definitely will take me some time to familiarize myself with them again. Although I am familiar with the games enough that I know what each unit does and everything. Just that because I not very good at strategizing battles and everything against human players. Yeah, just because I don't have too much experience with it. Yeah, you could definitely. It's almost virtually guaranteed that you can certainly beat me when it comes to multiplayer. And again, I'm not a very strong one either. So yeah, there's that. um, so Amani's next question: what does your typical day look like? So I get up around 6:30 in the morning to have breakfast before heading out to my job. Um, so at the current site that I work at, yeah, which I am a resident sub for. So essentially, that means I report to the same school site every single day, and I'm virtually guaranteed a job. Yeah, regardless of whether any teachers are out or not. I essentially am guaranteed a job every day. So it takes me about half an hour to get to my job site. My work hours are from 8 to 2:25. Yeah, at least from Monday through Wednesday and Fridays. Thursdays, yeah, are late start days, and so I start at 9. And but again, I still get out 2:25. Um, and then when I leave for work, yeah, I generally try to leave before 3. When I get home, being the old man I am, I usually take an hour nap, sometimes longer if I'm especially tired, like for not getting enough sleep the night before. It's very rare that I don't take a nap when I get home from work. But if I'm not napping, then what I do varies a lot, such as reading stuff online, or if I have an LP in progress, I sometimes fit a recording in. And then around 6 p.m., I usually hit the gym and get a nice half an hour to 45-minute workout. Then when I head home, I tune into Jeopardy on TV, which airs every weekday at 7 p.m. I'm a huge fan of trivia, and I was part of the Quiz Bowl team back in high school. As I recall, being on the team got me back into watching Jeopardy, which I did watch at times back when I was in elementary, and then I stopped for several years before said event made me want to watch it again. While watching, I would eat dinner that my mom has cooked. And then, once Jeopardy is over, I spend the rest of the evening in my room on my computer. However, most of the time I start or continue LPing in the evenings, around 7:30 p.m. or so. If I still haven't finished my dinner, I will finish that first before I start LPing. I usually try to go for 3 LP videos if I can, depending on time and when I started. I usually am not out very much, as there isn't really anyone available to hang out with. But if there is, then the weekends tend to be the best for the persons involved, similar to me. Then this essentially repeats each day, although obviously there could be a lot of variance in what I do each day. On the weekends, where I generally have more free time, I usually start recording LP videos about an hour after I get out of bed. I think the most LP videos I've ever fit in one single day was 5 or 6. Yeah, so that's plenty. Yeah, but I don't think I've done more than that. Yeah, in any single day. And I also hit the gym on the weekends, although it closes early on Saturdays and Sundays. So yeah, there's my typical day-to-day doings there. And like I said, it varies every day because some days I'm busier than others, and some days I'm just out and not home very much. So it really depends. But that's generally my day-to-day personal doings and everything. And then another question from Armani: if you could choose to get any permanent skill in your real life, what would you choose? Climber, floater, glider, swimmer, disarmer, slider. Yeah, this is a pretty good question, and this one actually took me some time to think about it. But I think after much thought, yeah, honestly, the disarmer is likely the one that I would go with. Um, as for other choices, the slider is certainly a great skill, and I was even in favor of it being included in stable neo Lemmings. But I think, like most others who have played lows featuring it, it's very annoying when they go in the opposite direction after every drop. Yes, I can't count the many times I've been very annoyed by that, and I had to go back and see where I could adjust my solution so that it does work out, and that the infamous nature of sliders going out in the wrong direction doesn't get in the way. Um, but yes, like I said, that's the infamous nature of the slider skill. But I have to venture to guess it's just as annoying for low designers as it is for players solving these lows featuring it. I guess it kind of reflects a bit of me somehow, in that while I do enjoy the occasional moment of annoying people, most of the time I tend to be serious and down to earth, and that's not really my character. Whereas for the disarmor, its usage is pretty much the simplest, yeah, out of all the other permanent skills, where it removes the trigger of any non-fire and non-water trap in encounters. And I like being simple as much as possible. In connection with my teaching job, when explaining the math to students, I always like to break the steps down as much as possible, and I almost never skip any. So, in other words, I try to make it as easy as possible for my students because I want them to understand the math. And so, to help them do this, I generally don't skip steps at all. And I think that's the major flaw that I see in many math textbooks. Yeah, basically, when I am reading the solution, sometimes, or rather, most of the time, I just see a lot of steps being omitted. And I think this is pretty bad because basically, you can't really assume that students will know how to go from step A to step B, or from step 1 to step 2, for example. Yeah, it's very, very important that they get the intermediate steps as well, because this really helps to understand the map better. And also because I am a visual learner as well, so I learn best with visuals. And yeah, if I see every step, then I say, oh, okay, this is where they're getting those numbers and everything. And I think teachers tell the students the exact same thing too. Yeah, if you show the work, yeah, then I at least know where you're getting these numbers. Um, and it definitely shows a much better understanding, or shows that the student has a good understanding of the math. So yes, I like to be that instructor that makes things as easy as possible. Um, so yes, very nice question there, Armani. Definitely require a lot of thought there. Okay, and a really, really good question here. What is your favorite thing about living in California? Well, he said in the California, but yeah, it's just should just be what's your favorite thing about living in California? But yes, that's still understandable there, Armani. So what I like about California, yeah, plenty of things. The weather's really nice, as it tends to be warm year round. Where I am, generally can't get uh, better Vietnamese food elsewhere. There's just so many great Vietnamese restaurants around here, at least in the area I'm at. And then California is also home to some of the best schools slash universities in the USA. So in regards to that, yes, I've attended UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, which has been ranked the #1 university for several years now. I want to say it's been ranked first since 2016 or 2017. I don't exactly remember the year, but yeah, it's been #1 for several years now. Before that, yeah, there's another school in the UC system, UC Berkeley, that was before us. Yeah, it was ranked higher um, than UCLA, and then UCLA would just be in second. But in more recent years, we finally topped that school, and you can pretty much consider UCLA like the sister school of UC Berkeley, because UC Berkeley is the very first UC campus that has been founded and made. I want to say, oh, I think my brother's going to kill me. I think it was founded in 1858. And then UCLA follows. Yeah, it's the second oldest UC campus, I believe. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And my campus was founded in 1919. And so for that reason, 3 years ago, we actually had the centennial celebration, and I was there. Yeah, it was celebrated during the UCLA Alumni Day. Yeah, which I've gone back a couple of times for. Those are always a lot of fun, and I am definitely looking forward to the next time I will attend. I don't think they had it in the last couple of years. Um, but I would definitely keep an eye out for when it happens again. And so, in regards to the UC schools, yeah, they are some of the best the state has to offer. And I believe this is what draws many international students to the state to go to college here. And there also tends to be a lot of places to go and do too. So, for example, California is home to some theme parks like SeaWorld, Disneyland. And the very nice thing about Disneyland is that it's only about 25 minutes from my place. So I can easily go there. But um, ticket prices are so expensive. Oh my goodness. I don't exactly remember how much, but I think it's like over $100 there. Um, yeah, I think I would have to see from some of my other huge Disney friends. Yeah, like what the prices are right now, or I can even look them up myself. And we've also had things like the San Diego Zoo and museums like the Bowers Museum, El Contemporary Museum of Art, or LACMA for short, LACMA. Um, and we also have some of the largest shopping malls here, like Metro Point and South Coast Plaza, the outlets at Orange, which was formerly known as the Block at Orange. And we also have Irvine Spectrum. So all of these are all within reasonable driving distance from my place. And it's about 20-25 minutes each. And then we're also close to a lot of beaches, or at least where I am, though we're far from being the greenest slash cleanest state. So with that, I would have to say that maybe Oregon or something is probably like the cleanest. Yeah, because I remember it being very, very green. Yeah, when I visited that state. Yeah, back in 2014. Um, and then even then, yeah, it's still very nice to go down to the beaches and take a stroll from time to time, especially if it's hot, which is what I like to do, whether it's alone or with a friend. And then finally, I think this is the final question for Armani. You played so many Lemmings levels. What is slash R the most memorable Lemmings levels for you? So yeah, that's a really, really good question. Yes, and he is indeed correct. I played so many level packs and so many levels. Yeah, and it's so hard to keep track of which level came from which pack and everything. But in regards to the question, yeah, I think I will start with original Lemmings and Oh No More Lemmings. So for original Lemmings, yeah, probably Save Me is the most memorable, just because that one took me the longest. Yeah, if you can even consider a month or so after I first reached the level as a kid. Yeah, pretty long. So like most others, yeah, the solution is somewhat obvious. It's just getting it to work or executing it that is a huge pain. But it's especially the case on DOS, yeah, which is the port I grew up with. And then for Oh No More Lemmings, yeah, flow control certainly stands out for me. Because this is a level where I remember I was around 10, and I remember the solution came to me one morning while I was lying in bed. I was very pleased to see that what I thought would work does indeed work on the low, and hence I proceeded with the rest of the game. I don't remember how long it was between the first time I encountered it and then getting solved, but I think I remember giving up on it too quickly and then getting back to the game for some time. And then I don't think it took me as long as Havoc 20 though, because when I first reached Havoc 20, yeah, I didn't get the low solved until about 2 years later after I first encountered it as a 10-year-old. Um, so, and for good reason too, because yeah, essentially the last low, while it's certainly not nowhere the hardest, yeah, considering that there are so many hard lows before that low, yeah, there's a lot of precision bombing needed. So there's that. And I think I just essentially gave up on it too quickly. But I do use a pretty interesting solution on that one, where I did use like one miner to my advantage to consolidate the entrances. Yeah, on the right side. And then Wild 13 onward and upward is definitely another notable one for me because I remember I was not able to solve this, and I think it's mostly due to doing the start incorrectly, and also because I dilly dallied too much, I kept running out of time here. And and then the interesting thing was that when I came back to this level way much later in my life, yeah, all of a sudden I didn't have too much of a hard time with it because I remember solving it very easily that time. Yeah, when I finally did get back to it. And then for custom levels, yeah, this is going to be pretty tough. But fortunately for me, yeah, I'm just going off of script here in case you're wondering about that. Yeah, perhaps you're seeing it from the fixation. Yeah, that my eyes are staring at. So from Lemmings Reunion, Hurt Me Plenty 9, The Royal Halls, definitely. Yeah, and I guess along with that, because it kind of uses a similar thing, Nightmare 7, Tactical Foul. Yeah, only because for these two levels, they're notable for me because I learned a new trick with them, and they were very satisfying to get solved. Because yeah, I've definitely never seen them required before in a custom Lemmings level, and so yes, I remember being very satisfied when I was able to figure it out. And then from Deceit's Lemmings, yeah, definitely Mayhem 21. Yeah, the penultimate level of the pack, and because at the time when I was playing through the pack, Mayhem 21 was the only level that I couldn't get solved, and at least when I first reached it. And then about 9 to 10 months later, yeah, and I came back to the low. Yeah, I was able to get it solved. As there was one thing I was missing that just all of a sudden dawned upon me. Like it was just like a really interesting realization. That was like, oh wait, I think it's just this. And then yeah, I quickly tried it out, and indeed it worked. So yeah, it was a very very satisfying solve. And from what I have seen, yeah, Deceit himself, who is the author of the pack, yeah, he thought about removing the low just because he thought it was a very unfair low. But from the feedback that the other Lemmings form members have given him, yeah, they all said that it's not a very unfair low at all. Yeah, it just simply requires knowing the mechanics of the game. And yes, I would have to agree with them. It's not unfair in any way at all. And because again, you just simply need to know the mechanics of the Lemmings games, yeah, in order to help you solve it. And also, I believe the reason Deceit did that is because for it was basically for a get a pizza challenge. Yeah, by basically being able to solve all the lows. And I believe one person did do it. I don't remember which forum member it is, if he even did name it. Um, but yes, definitely Mayhem 21. Yeah, which is enter at your own risk. Yeah, I forgot to mention the low title there. And then from United Genocide 10, where Secret's Way. Most definitely because turning follows in midair was a new trick to me. And then from Lemmings Uncharted, which is a pack by Armani. Yeah, the person who I'm answering the question from. Gemini 8 Step by Step and Libra 15 Help Yourself. as they both use really nice laser tricks. And the laser is a very new recent skill that was added to new Lemmings about almost a year ago, I think. Yeah, I think it's around this time. Yeah, or if not, then almost a year ago. But the latter, especially Libra 15 Hope Yourself, yeah, that's definitely going on the in the response. Just because, yeah, there is a talisman that Armani put in that low, and it is called "Don't do this if you're not KY," or rather, "Don't do this at home if you're not KYN." I was very, very honored that Armani added a talisman in honor of me. And the reason for that is because there is a part of the solution that he was very blown away by, and so he decided to attribute a talisman to me. And as a result, yeah, spoiler alert. Not really a spoiler alert to the solution, but rather it is a low denominator. So Libra 15, help yourself. So you will see that in a low the year 2021. So yeah, try to see if you can earn that talisman that Amari decided to tribute to me there. Yeah, I think it'll be a fun challenge for players to try to get. Um, Let me see how I'm doing on time here. Oh, I've already ran half an hour. Okay, so it looks like I will have to stop there then. So unfortunately, I didn't get to all the questions. Yeah, as I kind of predicted I wouldn't. So yeah, sorry folks. I'm gonna have to stop the recording here. So because I've essentially decided to enforce the limit of limiting the video to half an hour. So so don't worry though. Whatever questions I didn't get to, they will carry on to the next Q&A video. And hopefully, just hopefully, the spacing between this video that goes published on my YouTube channel and the next one won't be too long. As a matter of fact, I am hoping that I will probably do it maybe um sometime next week. Yeah, and then maybe just maybe, yeah, if I'm up to it, then I could probably just do it immediately after this one as well. But I think for the most part, I will try to record the next part um, like sometime next weekend. Yeah, and hopefully, just hopefully, there'll be ample lighting and everything. Yeah, in order for me to get a nice recording out of it. And yeah, I essentially don't want to put this off any longer than I should because honestly, 3 months has already been a long time, and I know that you all been waiting for the actual Q&A video itself. So again, apologies for the very, very long wait. Yeah, essentially, yeah, there was just plenty of things that was going on, during that time. Yeah, from the time that the announcement video went up. In particular, yeah, there were many times where I started like downing myself. Yeah, I wasn't feeling good about my abilities and stuff. And I've also took a very extensive hiatus from the Lemmings games themselves too. So I took a break from LPing just because, yeah, I got burnt out from doing Strato's Lemmings War Tour, and I also put an extreme time cruncher on myself in that I wanted to get the LP done before the end of 2021. And fortunately, I did accomplish my goal there, but it came at the cost in which I was massively burnt out from it. So it really got me exhausted, and so I just took an extensive break from LPing level packs, and then I finally returned. Yeah, after about a 2 month hiatus. Yeah, and I've been pumping out LP slower than I usually have, but that has been the goal for 2022 in general because I certainly do not want to. I certainly don't have plans to pump up so many LPs like I did last year. Yeah, which was around 25 or so. And I was like, no, 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 I'm definitely not doing that again. Yeah, that was just way too much. And honestly, I think any reasonable person would not even do that much when it comes to lower packs. And especially since a lot of lower packs are pretty difficult ones that most people are not even willing to LP them. And hence, that's the reason why I'm pretty much am like the main Lemmings LP around the community. Yeah, because as far as I know, I'm pretty much the only person who's doing them right now. Yeah, everyone else has pretty much moved on from it, or uh, or essentially don't want to just because of the difficulty of low packs. Yeah, that they kind of are like too hard to do an LP of. But when it comes to difficulty of low packs, yeah, I don't mind them. Yeah, I would LP low packs of any difficulty. There are some exceptions though. In particular, the most notable exception is Nepster Lem, only because of the fact that I played too much of the pack before I decided to get into LP myself. So because of that, unfortunately, people know you will not see an LP of that pack from me. But I will probably do a level solving commentary video series on that after I get through the entire pack, whenever that will be, because I've been stuck on black hole 1 for quite a while now, so who knows how long it's going to be before I get myself unstuck there, if I even do. Yeah, maybe it will be the case that I will join the tower before then, but as I am one of those players where I prefer not to ask for hints or view a replay of a low that I haven't solved myself first. Yeah, I am essentially willing to get, or willing allow, essentially allowing myself to be stuck on a low for however long it takes. So even if it is like an eternity. So because of that, yeah, I don't think I'll be viewing a video solution of it anytime soon. But here's hoping that I won't be stuck on there for too long. Yeah, from this point on. But it all depends on when I get back to it, and then maybe when the realization comes to me and everything. So yeah, here's hoping. And yeah, I actually ended up beating around the bush a lot longer than I said I would. But yeah, let's go ahead and stop here now, because otherwise I'm just going to keep on going, and then you just hear me blabber on and on and on and on. And as you may have noticed in my OPs and even in this video itself, yeah, pretty much any video of me that you watch, yeah, I have the tendency to speak extremely fast. And I'm actually pretty surprised no one has brought that point up to me. Um, you know, if you think I'm speaking too fast, then certainly please speak up and let me know to like slow down and everything. But just be aware that I can't really help myself, because yeah, it's just been a very bad habit of mine. And in my later years of speech therapy, I've yeah, I was essentially only in it just to control my speech pace. But unfortunately, yeah, even years after I've gotten out of it, yeah, I still speak very fast to this day. Yeah, it's just something that I do naturally, and I mean, essentially the only people that have brought it up to me are my students. Yeah, from time to time. But I'm actually pretty surprised that no one in this Lemmings forum has brought that up to me. But in any case, yeah, I guess it's because like if one wanted to, one could always like rewind back in the videos, yeah, and see what I'm trying to say. So there's that. Or if you're not sure, then you can always clarify or ask, yeah, for me to clarify. But yes, let's go ahead and stop here. Because again, I'm doing it. I'm beating around the bush again, so yeah, better stop right now before I keep on doing it, and this video will now stop. So, um, so this concludes the first Q&A video. I hope you have enjoyed it and got some peace of mind. Yeah, just because it's finally out and it's finally been done. Yeah, finally. Yeah, after 3 months. I will see you all around for part 2 of the Q&A.